Donald Trump is not a Republican. How dare you say something like that, Jerry? Well, yes, I said it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're going to talk about today. What is up, guys? It is Sunday, December 7th, 2025. It's Pearl Harbor Day today. And, damn, I didn't even think about that. I just got up and made this video. God rest those people's souls. If you're a U.S. historian, you'll know that. It's one of the biggest attacks on our country. And, you know, it's a big part of our history. And I want to talk to you about Donald Trump and the Republican Party here in a minute. But first, I want to tell you about me. My name is Jerry. If you're new here, this channel is called Jerry Loves Freedom. I do live streams. I talk about a lot of different things. And no, I'm not a Republican. All right? Am I MAGA? About 80% MAGA. But I'm a veteran. I'm a patriot. I'm a nationalist for America. Populist for the people. And I want a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That's what I want. And I love U.S. history, and I love my country. Now, normally a black man like me is not supposed to love America. I'm supposed to hate it because we're built on slavery. And I'm a victim, and I'm oppressed. And this evil white man, the boogeyman, is supposed to come get me and keep his foot or his boot on my neck. Funny thing is, I've never met this guy. And it's never happened to me. And so, in particular about Donald Trump, I'm not supposed to like Donald Trump as a black man. I'm not a black man. You're not black if you don't like Donald Trump. At least that's what Joe Biden tells me. If I don't vote for him, I ain't black, he told me.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Which is one of the most racist things you can say, one of the most condescending things you can say. But again, I'm not a snowflake. It doesn't bother me. But the people that it does bother, when people say things like that, when they hear things like that, it doesn't bother them because it wasn't the guy that they said is racist. Which is funny. It's so funny when you see these people. And I'm going to sound like a Republican for the naked eye. If you don't know who I am and you just hear me, you'll think that I'm just this, far right guy. And I hate Democrats. I definitely don't like the Democrat Party. That's for sure. I don't really like the Republican Party either, in a traditional sense, and I'll get to that in a second. But the world changes, the world evolves. And in 2025, going into 2026, the Democrat Party today is not the same as it was when I was a kid. I was born in 1975, and I've had 9 presidents since I've been born. Ford, Carter, Reagan, the first Bush, Clinton, second Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. And the party's changed since then. A lot. And, since I've been born. If I had to rank those presidents, Donald Trump is number 1. Reagan's number 2. And objectively speaking, even though I don't like him now, Clinton was number 3. President Obama was a terrible president to me. I voted for him the first time. He got me the first time with that hope and all that other bullshit. He got me. Again, I was a Democrat until about 2010 during Obama's first tenure, and that's when I left the party. Because again, I wasn't all into politics, but I just knew that something wasn't right with this dude, and I was right about that. And looking back at Bill Clinton, even though he was a terrible person, he did some pretty good things. I'm not gonna lie. He did keep the budget balanced, and a few other things I liked.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
But that Democrat Party is gone. That Democrat Party that Bill Clinton ran is closer to MAGA than the Republicans are to MAGA in today's party, in today's day. The old Republican Party are a bunch of stiffs.
If we're gonna be petty, we can start now. Let me know. We can start now. But
in my opinion, they're boring. They're warmongers. They weren't fiscally conservative. They're more fiscally conservative than Democrats. But they're weak. A lot of them wanted an open border as well. But they pretend like they don't, and they just blame it on the Democrats. And Trump, ever since the 80s, was always asked if he'd run for president. He said, oh, well, I'm not thinking about that, because he was building things. He was actually doing things.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not, but I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined, I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing, this country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
Because a lot of these politicians are just that. They're politicians. They're not businessmen. They don't get out here in the workforce. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And they make their living in politics. They make their money and their fame in politics. Trump didn't do that. Trump went the other way around. Trump is a trifecta, man. Trump is a businessman. He's a star on a television programs, TV personality, and obviously he made it to the top of the political hill as the president. Now, when I say Trump is not a Republican, all you have to do, if you don't believe me, is go back and look at the 2015 version of Donald Trump, 2015, 2016 version of Donald Trump, and look at those guys, that Republican Party versus Trump. Trump was an outsider.
Is there anyone on stage, and can I see hands, who is unwilling tonight to pledge your support to the eventual nominee of the Republican Party and pledge to not run an independent campaign against that person? Again, we're looking for you to raise your hand now. Raise your hand now if you won't make that pledge tonight. Mr. Trump. So, Mr. Trump, to be clear, you're standing on a Republican primary debate.
I fully understand.
The place where the RNC will give the nominee the nod.
I fully understand.
And that experts say an independent run would almost certainly hand the race over to Democrats and likely another Clinton. You can't say tonight that you can make that pledge.
I cannot say. I have to respect the person that if it's not me, the person that wins. If I do win and I'm leading by quite a bit, that's what I want to do. I can totally make that pledge. If I'm the nominee, I will pledge I will not run as an independent.
Trump was not like those guys. That was the Republican Party. Now let me ask you a question. You look at all those people that he went against, the Jeb Bushes.
Don't make things up, Jeb. Don't
cut me off,
Come
sir.
on, don't make things up.
Well, he's gone. Rand Paul.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway.
He's pretty much the same.
I think really there's a sophomore quality that is entertaining about Mr. Trump, but I am worried. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the nuclear weapons, because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly, my goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
But if you look at Ted Cruz, which I don't really like him too much, he's kind of a fraud too.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
But some things I like about Ted Cruz. I love Marco Rubio now.
Pause.
Little Marco's turned into big Marco. Pause.
Wow. Wow.
But you look at them boys back then, and then you look at Trump. Trump hasn't changed. They did. And the whole party's been changing. That was the old Republican Party. That's not MAGA. He had to come within the party.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Pause. He had to go in the party and change it from within. For those of you that don't know, I'm from New York. Donald Trump is a blue dog Democrat, an old school Democrat. He's a yuppie from New York City. He was not a Republican. Now, did he donate to Republicans? Yes. He donated to Democrats. He donated to anybody that could help him get past the bureaucracy and the red tape.
I promise, if I wanted it, I would have got it.
Jeff, for anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me, 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to...
Fact is, Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that. Wrong.
This is how he knew that he could be a good president, because he knows all these people. He knew that if he ran the United States of America like a business, it would be prosperous. It's really simple. But he took over a very, very broken, rundown business in America. Fiscally speaking, of course, both terms, and now socially speaking, moreover on this term, because again, the woke agenda and everything else, the woke virus was non-stop in 2024. It wasn't as bad in 2016 when he got elected.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. And Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away for the inaugural address.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th president of the United States of America.
But in 8 years, it got even worse.
This man is a danger to all the world, and it is our responsibility to get him out of office.
He has completely changed not only the Republican Party, he's changed politics in general. He has woken up a lot of people that were sleeping, man, for better or worse. And he's the most polarizing political figure, most polarizing figure besides George Washington and Abraham Lincoln that's ever lived.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
And I will say he's up there with them because of social media and how everybody knows him, because back then there was no social media and everything else. Because believe me, Abraham Lincoln and George Washington was criticized a lot too, even though they were heroes and stuff. I believe Donald Trump won't be a hero until he's dead. And believe me, that will make a lot of people happy when he's dead. A lot of people want him to die, which is shameful and evil in my personal opinion. But when the late, great Charlie Kirk had an epiphany about Trump, he realized, Charlie Kirk did, that Trump was like no other.
President Barack Obama said the American dream is to be what? Is to be Donald Trump. That's what he said the American dream was.
Why is it that this guy's all of a sudden the populist hero? He's supposed to be part of the ruling class. It's because he's a defector from it. It's because he was in the dinners, he was in the cocktail parties, he heard the language, he heard the contempt that the ruling class, the Wall Street financiers, the Washington, D.C. lobbyists, and the Silicon Valley elites that he had to be around. He knew the contempt that they had for the plumber, electrician, the carpenter, the bricklayer, and the person building the very same building that he was financing. So he took the woman rink mentality, the philosophy that built that woman rink quicker and better than anyone could have imagined, despite the New York City bureaucracy and the municipal burdensome rules. And he said, I'm going to bring this to Washington, D.C., and I'm actually going to do something that a politician has never done before. I'm going to tell you the truth, no matter how brutal and honest it is. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. From the time he went down the escalator, he was the only person running for office that talked about China immigration, the two issues that are most affecting our country now. How was this possible? Because he listened to the very people the ruling class hated. So what makes President Trump different? This is a president who didn't need his job. He's the only president in American history who's going to be poorer after becoming president than before. He's not going to sign a book deal big enough to possibly make up for the gains. His son, investigated by every single authority imaginable, from Bob Mueller to the House Intelligence Committee to Adam Schiff to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, after being set up for that very same meeting. His businesses audited and currently under criminal investigation by the New York Attorney General for no reason and no grounding further. His other son, Eric Trump, his charity gets shut down for self-dealing despite no evidence at all. He just wants to give treatment to cancer kids, St. Jude's Hospital. He's the only person that would be more damaged materially, philosophically, and morally. Every other president ends up better on the back end. They end up being able to write their stoic journal and drama and being better respected. This guy is a vessel for us. A vessel for those of us that have nothing but resentment for the kingdom of Washington, D.C. The type of people that think everything is just perfectly fine because we just built a Hermes. Hermes is now in Reston, Virginia, don't you know? Louis Vuitton's in Fairfax County, everybody. Things are great.
That is the best argument you will ever hear, condensed, distilled like a proof alcohol into why Charlie Kirk believes in this president.
And when you see something like that, when you see a clip like that, you'll realize, wow, Trump is different. Trump is not Ronald Reagan, meaning, being an actor and coming into politics. Again, no knock on Ronald Reagan. But Trump is Ronald Reagan on steroids, man. He really is. Is he George Washington and a general and a battle commander and take troops into war? Of course not. But he has gone to war. And what he's gone through for our country when he does not have to do it, I respect him. I really do. Do I think he's perfect and everything he does is great? No. But if I was in his position, because again, it's very easy for me as a Monday morning quarterback to sit there and tell him that he's not doing a good job. Who the hell am I? I don't have any experience. And oh, by the way, neither do you. So we can sit there and Monday morning armchair quarterback, whatever, and say how good or bad somebody's doing. But again, that's a steep hill to climb, to go from just being a regular citizen, and in Trump's case, the businessman, the mogul, the celebrity apprentice star, and all these other things, up to the top of the mountain of the political realm. And for us to sit there as regular people and tell him he's doing a good or bad job, even when we do it with Joe Biden, it kind of, if you really think about that, it's kind of crazy. But we all have our opinions, and I get that. But again, Trump is not a Republican. The Republican Party is changing and morphing before our eyes right now, whether you know that or not. And I am not a registered Republican, but if we keep going the way we're going, I may register as a Republican. It doesn't really matter. It really matters how you vote. And as long as Trump is on that ticket, I'm going to vote for Trump because he's doing what I asked him to do. And when you see the mainstream media, the left-wing media in particular, going against everything the man stands for and what he does, you have to ask yourself why. Why are they doing that? Why do they lie about him? If Trump is so terrible and so bad like they say he is, why they gotta lie and make stuff up about him? Ask yourself that. If he's such a racist, show me some proof he's a racist.
Am I the only one who remembers when black folks used to love Donald Trump? When Oprah Winfrey used to do photo ops with him? When Jesse Jackson went and met with him and begged for money? When the Reverend Al Sharpton went and met with him and begged for money? When every popular rapper wanted to mention Donald Trump in their songs? Do y'all remember that? Let me remind you.
Let me in now. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. Boys in the hood, call me Black Donald Trump.
Machiavelli returns as God forgives and I don't. Resurrection of the real, time to get richer than Trump.
I made $1 million on that corner going Donald Trump. No. Take over the world when I'm on my Donald Trump. Boy, I got money like Donald Trump. Before I die, I want to.
Because they have to attack him personally, and they have attacked him every way. They've thrown everything but the kitchen sink at this man, and he's still standing. Tried to you know what him, try to debank him, try to bankrupt him, try to make him sit in court and make him look bad. Because that court case, those court cases knocked a lot of birds with one stone. Kept him in court so he has to spend money, kept him in court to make him look guilty, kept him in court so he's not on the campaign trail, kept him in court, again, to make him look like a criminal. And they weaponized the DOJ against him. And we can't have that in our country, man. And any man that can go through that, and then after that, gets shot in the ear, and the first thing he does, he stands up and yells, fight, fight, fight. Again, I don't see any Republican doing that. Do you? I'm not gonna make this video too long. It's a Sunday. I know you guys are watching football and stuff like that, but I just wanna have a gentle reminder for you guys that not only is Trump so much different than every other president that we've ever had, but Donald Trump, in my personal opinion, is definitely not a Republican. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, listen, we're gonna have a crazy year in 2026. And we got a lot of people that are Republicans in particular that are not gonna get out there and vote. And we have some very, very important midterm elections. The midterms coming up, man. And it's so important. I'm going to be spending the next 12 months, 11 months talking about this ad nauseum. You guys are gonna get sick of hearing me, but I have to do it because I know how important it is. This midterm election may be, dare I say, more important than the 2024 election. If Trump doesn't win this, or we don't win this, the MAGA, Patriot, America First movement don't win the election, don't win the midterms, we're gonna be in big trouble. And I'll get into that in other videos. But listen, guys, if you love your country, if you love America, if you're an American, if you love this country, have Donald Trump's back, guys. He's our president. He's doing right by us. Everything we voted for, he's doing it. He's not perfect, I know that, but he's giving us what we need. And in my personal opinion, you want to be a loyal American? Be loyal to our president, Donald J. Trump. Pray for him every day and make sure you fight on not only his behalf, but on behalf of our country. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until then, and as you guys know, I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.